Hey guys, Pat Rigsby here, and I wanted to put together a quick video for you to help with how you're navigating the current circumstances that we're facing. Man, it's been all hands on deck over here with my clients, and I wanted to share some of really the key takeaways, the things that have worked thus far, and I organized it into a three-step action plan, basically, that if you follow, it seems like for all of our people, the results have exceeded expectations, to say the least. Now, one advantage that I've probably had is over the last 13 years, my wife, Holly, has been coaching people online. She's had a membership community that has reached to around 1,000 people at a given time. She's had over 35,000 customers online. So, we've had a lot of experience with serving people online and making sure that we could create a really high quality culture, a solid experience, something that kept people coming back and seeing the value in what she had to offer. So not only, is this stuff that we've seen work right now with some of the gyms transitioning to training people online, but it's stuff that we've got a lot of track record with that we understand can have a pretty profound impact. So the first step in the action plan is to keep your current clients. And, there's nothing kind of out of the ordinary about that, but there are a few variables that I think you need to consider. The first of which would be, we want a mix of things. It's not enough to just host workouts. A lot of times we've been able to get away with just hosting workouts in our facility, but people aren't going to pay their normal rate for a live streaming workout or a workout on demand with nothing else, because they can go get that for a fraction of the fee that they're probably training to be a client at a training-based facility. So we need a combination of live streaming workouts, of on-demand workouts. We need some sort of accountability. We need a check-in. I don't care if it's text messaging clients on a daily basis, using an app like Voxer, using something like Coach Catalyst to hold people accountable, or if it's just periodic calls from your staff throughout the week to make sure people are doing what they need to do, to make sure they feel connected, that they feel supported. So that's a big piece of it. So we've got on-demand, live streaming, we've got accountability, but we need to create and foster community. We need to make sure that people feel connected to one another. So we've seen people doing coffee meetups, get-togethers in the evening. We've seen my wife calls something she does every Friday a win share, where people are sharing the things that went well during the week and kind of celebrating that as a check-in. So there are a lot of ways that we can connect with people outside of just a traditional workout. We can provide education. You could do on-demand workshops or live streaming workshops. You can use some pre-developed content. I mean, we've seen people use things like Pro Coach or Coach Catalyst to deliver content that's dripped over time to keep people engaged as well. And then we need to make sure that we're doing some personalized attention, some one-to-one outreach. In fact, if you've not done much with personal text messages and one-to-one calls, now's a great time to do it. Let's face it, the stuff that our clients are going through right now is very much like what we're going through. They're stressed out, they're anxious, there's a lot of uncertainty. So just being somebody that they feel connected to, somebody that cares about them far more than just the one-to-one transaction, but you're somebody who sees them as being under your care, and you're giving them a sense of calm. You're taking a role of leadership through a turbulent time for them. Let's face it, that's what people need now more than anything else. Right now, their focus has changed. Their goals have probably evolved a little bit, and it's not what they came to you for originally. But, we can do so much for them in improving their quality of life under the circumstances that they're currently facing. So when we think about the things that they probably don't feel like they have a whole lot of control over, right? There are press conferences going on every day. They're being bombarded by the media. things with their career may be, beyond their control, things that might be happening, just feeling like, hey, I can't even go out and get a haircut, or I can't go out and have lunch with a friend or something like that. Some of this stuff's been taken away from them. So they do get to exert some degree of control over their fitness, over their health, over their well-being, and you can be a facilitator for that. But you need to step up and take that role. It's going to feel like all hands on deck for a while, and that's okay. We'll weather the storm. But the beauty of this is, if they stick with you through this, and more importantly, if you stick with them through this, they're going to be loyal to you long after, right? Like the connection that you're going to have through facing adversity together, they're not going to be looking around for the brand new gym that pops into town, or waiting for a discount or anything like that when they see an ad pop up on Facebook. That loyalty, that connection, that community is going to transcend things long after. So we want to focus at first on keeping those clients we have. The second thing that we want to do is manage our money. We need to cut the no or low benefit cost or subscriptions that we have, and understand that, man, we can come back to it later. If we have to put something on pause for a little bit, we can come back to it later, but we need to make sure that we're spending the money on the things that are important to us, staying the course now, riding out this storm, and putting ourselves in a position, where we're healthy, not only at the end of kind of this forced online business model, but long after. The second thing that we need to do is understand that we may have to cut a little bit of payroll. Now, obviously, we want to take care of the people that are part of our organization, but we also need to be smart about this, and know that if we aren't smart with our money, they're not going to have a business to come back to work for. So we have to, manage things. And if that means cutting a little bit of our payroll, cutting some of their hours, we'll address that as we need to. Now, as I film this, there's not been a final stimulus package come out or whatever else, but it appears that there may be some cash to offset any financial losses that our employees might have. So if they get an influx of $1,000 or whatever the number might be, we're not saying necessarily that we need to cut payroll from, what we're offering them currently to zero. But if we have to cut back hours by 20%, 25%, 30%, better to make sure that we're keeping the business healthy and sustainable than to, feel obligated to keep payroll, at a normal level for them while we're taking a massive pay cut and ultimately putting our business in peril. So that's number two. Third thing, start a conversation with your landlord about, some relief from your lease payments, whether you need to renegotiate your lease, whether you need to, see if you can push back payments, whether you can reduce payments for a little bit, or maybe tack them on towards the end of the lease, or let things balloon up over time. Honestly, a lot of landlords are going to punt on this for the time being. They're going to say, hey, we'll get back to this, but right now we're not ready to deal with it. And in many cases, they're waiting to see if they're going to get some relief on mortgages or whatever else. But I think we have to be realistic. Landlords don't want to evict people because they don't want, 80, 90% vacancy in an economy that they're uncertain of as well. So, they're going to work with you, whether or not they do it begrudgingly. They're going to work with you probably more often than not. So start that conversation. Take a proactive approach. I'm not suggesting that you're going to get a lot of feedback, but better to be proactive about anything that we're doing financially rather than bury our head in the sand. And then, explore the funding sources that are available to you. Can you get a line of credit? Pay attention to the Small Business Association, disaster relief loans, the loans that might be available to you through other sources, both locally and state or nationally. Make sure that you're aware of those. And if you need to do some work to apply for those, get the ball rolling. Make sure you have this cushion. Maybe you won't need it. Hopefully you won't need it, but better to be safe than to be backed in a corner and not have money available in a time of desperation or a time of need. So, and then the third step, or the third component of this action plan, is attack the opportunity, right? We need to stabilize by keeping our current clients. We need to preserve cash or free up cash flow, so we're going to manage our money, but then we need to attack the opportunity. In every adverse situation, there's always somebody who comes out of it ahead, right? Somebody's always going to win, and you have the ability to capitalize on some of this if you are proactive, because so many people are going to be reactive. They're going to freeze. They're not going to do what they need to do to protect their client base, to keep them engaged. So those clients may be looking elsewhere. There are going to be people who just kind of panic and don't do anything to preserve the health of their business. And some businesses are probably not going to last. I mean, we saw that in the last economic downturn, but guess what? It's under your control. This is something that you have far more control over than most people like to take responsibility for. So leads are cheap right now. We're seeing leads for people who are advertising at a cost that in some cases is anywhere from 10 to 25% of what they're normally paying. So if you have the available cash flow and the available reserves, feel free to advertise a little bit, or at least do some grassroots or guerrilla marketing and get out there and generate some leads, build an audience so you've got people to market to when they're ready to buy, if they're not ready to buy right now. So that's a big step. Acknowledge the fact that many big box facilities, many of the franchises, they're not really offering anything more than streaming workouts. And I've heard it from multiple people that, you know what, they're not happy with whatever their facility is or whatever else, because they don't want on-demand streaming workouts. They don't want something that they could get on their iPhone with an app for $2.99 a month. They want connection. They want community. They want leadership. They want an actual coach. They just don't want an on-demand library of workouts. So take advantage of that void. I mean, I have a neighbor of ours that said that exact thing, and she belongs to a local franchise, and she reached out to Holly and said, look, I want your help. I need a leader to help me stay focused and motivated when everything else is in disarray. Position yourself as a leader in the community. You know, when it comes to health, wellness, fitness, take a leadership stance. Put out content, share valuable insights, be on video online, share articles, share workouts, share tips, provide lead magnets, anything that you've got that you can deliver that's, you know, low hassle for you, high leverage, not interactive coaching so much, but expertise that you can share to position yourself as an authority. Give away some sort of free level support, not nearly what we're giving our clients. We want to make sure that we're over delivering to our clients, but that doesn't mean that you can't create a free Facebook group and let people check in and have their win the day challenge or something like that and share what they did to be healthy and active. There's something that you can do to offer for free, and we can offer charity things. I've seen so many of our clients put together small business kind of charity initiatives, charity-based workouts where money gets donated to things like food banks. There are things that we can do to step up, take a leadership role in the community, and be a lot more visible and really kind of capture more of the market that's available. Because let's face it, if you're online doing this stuff, so many people in our industry have been pretty proactive when it comes to social media marketing. And a lot of other businesses, a lot of other small business owners, they've not really done that. That's not been their comfort zone. So take advantage of those experiences and skills you developed and step up and be a leader in your community. And then understand that, you know, I mean, if we want to stimulate the economy, if we want things to stay healthy, we need to sell. We can't sit back and not feel like, hey, we shouldn't be selling anything because people are in a time of distress. No, if you can solve somebody's problems, if you can help somebody reduce stress and stay healthy and feel like they have a semblance of control in their life and infuse activity into their life and give them a sense of connectedness, then sell your program. Sell a low-cost transformation type challenge. It's probably not a transformation challenge, but I know my wife Holly is putting together a stay-at-home workout bundle, or stuck-at-home workout bundle, I think she's calling it. And, but I've seen people put together 21 and 42-day challenges. We've had my client base put together a 42-day challenge that's, they're just calling it an at-home workout challenge. Put together something like that where people feel like, I'm not overextending myself. It's not super expensive. You can offer something like that. You can offer your normal services. I know that we've heard so many people in our community say, hey, my friend wants to learn more about what we do. I've been raving about what we're doing online, and my coworker wants to know more about it. Share your normal offerings. And then finally, don't hesitate to upsell some of your current clients. I mean, some of those clients that have traditionally been maybe in a group environment, offer them one-on-one attention, offer them more connection, more accountability, just more personalized support. You're going to see a handful of them want to upgrade. And what's so great about this is between the new clientele that you bring on, the upgrades that you generate, even if you do have a few losses, if you do have a few people that say, hey, I want to freeze, I want to pause something, you're going to be able to offset that, come out of this healthy, and really be poised to thrive when we get back to some sense of normalcy. So, we're going to get through this. We always do. But you're not going to do it successfully unless you're proactive. You got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to be adaptable and be willing to move into delivering a lot more than just a workout online. You're probably going to have to work a little bit harder than you've typically been working. But one thing that I've noticed from my clients is, man, they all feel like a better business owner right now than they felt a week or 2 weeks ago. They feel stronger in what they're doing. They have a better handle on how they're going to be able to differentiate themselves down the line by being a much more complete and valuable solution for their clients. And I think you're going to get that sense too. So those 3 action steps or tips, hopefully they helped. And then if I can be of help to you, just reach out. Happy to support you any way I can. Thanks.
Thanks for watching. If you click the first link in either the description or the link in the pinned comment, you can get my latest book, The Ideal Business Formula, for free. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button for me. If you have any questions or comments or video requests, leave me a comment below and I'll be quick to respond. And lastly, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm posting videos weekly now, and if you turn your notification bell on, you'll be sure to get them all.